Good evening. Welcome to our regular council meeting on Monday, January 3rd, 2011. Mr. Malone, will you please call the roll?
Kaplan. Evans.
Here.
Kelly.
Here.
Motlak.
Here.
Stevens.
Here.
Tumio.
Here.
Wilcox.
Here.
6 present, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll excuse Councilman Kaplan. We move to the approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting held Monday, December 20th, 2010. Any corrections or changes? See no corrections or changes. I'll sign the minutes of the December 20th council meeting and the ordinance and resolutions passed at that meeting at the conclusion of this meeting. We now move to personal communications from our citizens. If you'd like to address council tonight, please raise your hand. Be recognized. Come to the podium. State your name and address and your business tonight with council. Yes, sir, please.
Good evening. My name is Michael Gallagher. I live at 1687 Wood Road.
Welcome, Michael.
Thank you. And I would like to just say a couple things about the potential sale of the Oakwood Country Club, a portion that's in Cleveland Heights.
Please.
I live at 1687 Wood Road, and one of the nice things about it is I have a wooded lot next door to me, and my backyard fronts on Oakwood Drive, the private drive. And one of the neat things about it is that we quite often have deer in our lot, and the deer move from the spot between Milliken School and Severance into our lot and onto the golf course. It's nice to have them there. But I think more importantly is we don't need any more stores. We don't need any more concrete. Nature is forever. Coles is transitory. That's really all I want to say. I'm opposed to any rezoning of the Oakwood property.
Thank you, Michael.
Very good.
Could they speak up? I can't hear them, Gordon. Is there something going on with the mic that's not loud enough?
I'll speak loudly. How's that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can't.
My name is Mark Salling. I live at 1541 Maple Road.
Welcome, Mark.
Thank you. I'm also opposed to the Oakwood change in zoning, but I'm also very interested in hearing from council and maybe planning some of the reasons why they think that the zoning change is necessary and what rationale there is for a retail establishment there. I have some background in urban geography, and I don't believe that there's any basis for any additional retail development in that area. There's a lot of competition right now and a lot of vacant space for retail. And I'd like to see whatever marketing studies were developed that would suggest that there's a viable marketing region for the retail that would be in that area.
Thank you, Mark.
I guess I would like to ask whether or not that information would be available to the public.
We don't have that information. We do not have, this city council, as of this date, has not received any official proposal from any developer concerning Oakwood Country Club in relation to the Cleveland Heights Park.
I guess then I would ask whether or not any decision about zoning would require information about the viability of a retail development in that area.
I'm going to ask our law director, Mr. Gibbon, to comment briefly on that, please.
Yeah. As the mayor has said, we don't have anything in front of us at this time, and it actually would be inappropriate for City Council to comment on the merits of a rezoning, anything other than the process, until we get something in front of us. But the general process that we follow when we get a rezoning proposal is that it goes to our planning commission, it goes to our boards and commissions, and it starts with the planning commission. It may go through the Board of Zoning Appeals. It has to go through the architecture board, and eventually for the zoning, it would come before City Council. But that would be after planning commission has looked at it, and planning commission, of course, looks at it in public sessions and invites the public to be present and express their opinions on it. And then when they've made a decision on the zoning issue, why it goes to City Council, and City Council then approves what they have recommended, or it disapproves it. But it's a long process. I don't know if you've been through a rezoning in Cleveland Heights or not, but it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long time. And it is truly a process designed to let everyone who wants to be heard be heard. The decision that council is to make on that process, as with the Planning Commission, is to be based upon the information that they receive during the hearings and during the process, and then they make their decision. So it really would be inappropriate for council to try to make decisions before they have that information in front of them, and until we've gone through the process. Currently, the property is zoned for single family. And a single family in this community also can mean, if the property owner requests it, a conditional use for planned type of development, so that it doesn't have to necessarily be single family lots. It could be condominium type ownership, that sort of thing. So there is some flexibility under our current zoning for that, but it's zoned for residential and for single-family use. And until we have a proposal in front of us for some other type of zoning on it, it really, there's nothing that we can say or do. We don't have anything in front of us. And I think as far as public comment is concerned, it's certainly fine to express your thoughts this evening or at any time with City Council or anybody else. But you probably will be a bit disappointed in that council isn't going to be able to say, yeah, I agree with that and I'm going to go for it, or some such comment, because it would be inappropriate for them to do that until the situation is placed before them in our boards and commissions with a proposal in front of us.
Well, thank you for the answer. I'm looking forward to an opportunity to see the process in action. I have a lot of interest in this issue, and I think that there is a lot of interest in this room, obviously, and we'd like to see the facts as they develop and have input in the process. So I look forward to participating in that process. I also wanted to say that in terms of the zoning, it may be zoned residential right now, but and maybe this is not the appropriate place to do this, but I think the city lacks neighborhood recreational areas, and this is an opportune time and location to develop some recreation areas that the city just really doesn't have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Anyone else? Yes, please.
My name is Marcy Denton. I live at 1472 Wilmar Road. I also am here tonight because I'm concerned about the developments with Oakwood property. I'll try to be brief. I understand somebody like Mark Schneider has the right to make money. I also am a frequent shopper at places like Target and Marshall's. These big box businesses do have their place. I also understand that as a community, we have not only the right, but the responsibility to very carefully look at and guard our zoning laws before we make changes to them. And so as we go through what we are assuming is going to be the process of having to look at some changes, possible changes in our zoning laws, I have a few things for us to consider. One of the things that I've been thinking about is the fact that Cleveland Heights, I think, is known as being a rather artsy, progressive sort of a community. And while a lot of us feel a certain passion for this, a certain love for this, it's also our market niche. When you look around Cuyahoga County, there aren't a lot of other communities like ours. I think that's why people choose to live here. I think that's why people choose to buy houses here. Some people are afraid to buy houses here because of the high taxes. So we offer them tax abatements. The tax abatements will expire. What will we have to offer these people in our community when these tax abatements on these condominiums expire? I'm thinking what we need to do is really focus on local business. I have several reasons for this. First of all, we've got a new director of economic development. He is dynamic, energized, he's networking, he's getting to know the community, he knows Northeast Ohio. I think that gives us a prime opportunity to develop some local businesses. Not only that, when I was doing a little bit of research as to the benefit of local businesses, I Googled it. 65,700,000 hits came up, or not hits, but 700,000 results came up on my computer. Among what I found is that local businesses return up to 45% of their revenue to the local economy, as opposed to national big box chains, which might only return 20 to 40%. Another website suggested, and these were websites from San Francisco, Portland, cities that kind of seem to have their act together, one would think. Another website suggested local businesses have 3 times the economic impact as national chains do. Another website I saw said local businesses are the largest employers and most likely to be loyal to a community. Not only that, local businesses give 350% more contributions to local nonprofits than national chains do. I'm on the committee at Noble Elementary School to try to get a new playground. I can speak to that. Local businesses, you hardly have to say more than I'm from the playground committee and they're giving us support. National businesses have lengthy application processes we have to go through. And I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but it all comes back around. Let's think about a new playground for Noble Elementary School. When you have a good, decent playground sitting next to an elementary school and someone's driving through the neighborhood deciding whether they're going to live in Shaker Heights or Cleveland Heights, and they see a nice playground there, that makes them take a second look at our community. It says, you know what, the people here really care. That is what we want. Local businesses give that. The national chains, a Costco does not. I have one other point to make. My mom gives me a yearly subscription to Family Circle. It's a little more mainstream than I normally read, but one monthly feature, it sits next to my Utney reader, but one monthly feature it features communities from around the country and why they are unique, why they are wonderful places to live. I have yet to read about a community that says they're great because they plowed down a former golf course and put in a Costco. I haven't seen it yet. In the issue I'm holding here, though, I do see things such as an arboretum trail, a heritage center, a summer theater. These are the things that make people want to live in a community. Cleveland Heights has a long history. I hope it's got a long future. We are at a critical moment right here in our history. We owe it to our past, we owe it to our future, to think about who we are and to think very, very carefully. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Marcy. Sir? Yes.